Hello Libra, welcome to this reading. On August 11th, the 3-week-long Mercury Retrograde is finally over. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the week of August 11th and seeing what's coming forward for you now that Mercury is direct. With that said, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, so we're going to be taking a look at the dates between August 11th and I believe August 17th. So that week ahead. And see who's coming forward for you here with this new direct motion from Mercury. All right, I don't know about you guys, but this Mercury retrograde felt like a doozy to me. I know I've been stumbling over my words more than I usually do. Yeah, I'll be glad to have the direct motion. So anyway, let's go ahead, get all of the cards out here. We'll get everything set up and in view, and we'll get right into it for you. All right. I think that's looking just about good enough to me. Energy on the bottom. You do have the Tower here, Libra. So some of you in this week, you might have some sort of like unexpected event, or there may be an upheaval or a shock or a surprise this week. Here, you actually have a really strong combination with the Tower and the Judgment card. That's like a deeply spiritual combination that I find in the tarot. It can bring about like spiritual revelations. Okay, and we'll probably talk about that as we go along in this reading. But a positive way of looking at this is it may also suggest that in this week there's something that you're being released from, right? There's something that you felt trapped in, okay? The people on the tower here, they're falling from the tower, and they were previously trapped or stuck in this tower. And now that the tower has collapsed, obviously, they're being released from whatever burden they were sort of like in at the time. And so on one hand, yes, it could be, maybe it can be a sort of forewarning that there may be a surprise or an upheaval or maybe even some challenges ahead. But on the other hand, it can also be a releasing, okay? And you have to really look at the, supporting cards when you get the Tower, all right, in a reading, because, you know, it really can just foretell surprises, which is not on its own a bad thing. You do have some interesting cards here. Generally, this looks pretty solid for you. And I will say that some of you are burdened and bogged down by the weight of some work. Okay, some of you have some work here that feels very, very heavy. Okay, I'm getting an energy of you have a lot on your plate. You have a heavy workload here at this time. And on one hand, I think that you'll be able to kind of push through and see and release yourself from that. In other words, I think that you'll complete some sort of long project or some work that you're doing here that feels like you just can't escape it right now. So right away in the middle, you do have the Ten of Wands. Again, the Ten of Wands, this is a card of hard work. It can mean that you have a lot on your plate. This person's carrying all of these wands by themselves up the hill here. And on one hand, you know, it does mean that you have a lot of work. On the other hand, it is a completion, right? Tens in the tarot do represent completions. And there is something coming to a close here in this week with the Ten of Wands, and also you have the World here. I would also say that some of you are feeling like exhausted, okay? Some of you feeling maybe mentally, emotionally, maybe even physically exhausted in this week because of some of these cards that I'm seeing here. So there may be an opportunity for you to really finish something, okay? I have a feeling that some of you are actually going to finish something. I get a sense that some of you are working so much that it's a heavy burden to it's a heavy burden right now. It's a lot to carry here. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the first column. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Judgment card, and the Four of Wands. Okay, so I like this column for you, okay? These are really solid cards. So the Two of Pentacles, it does indicate some changes that may be going on for you financially. Some of you may feel like you've had some expenses here that have come up, or there's been like money going, like as fast as money comes in, it goes out. You know, I'm sure you've like all experienced that at some point in your life, right? Like it's like you get money and then, you got to spend it on like the car, or you got to spend it on like a bill, or whatever you have to make a purchase or whatever the case may be here. Some of you here feel like as soon as it's coming in, it's going out. And I think that some of you are sort of like working extra to sort of make up for something here, which I think is just like, it is what it is. It's the season that you're in. It's the season that you're in. It's kind of like where you are right now. I think some of you are maybe doing that here with this Two of Pentacles, Ten of Wands. But I think that this is about to change for you maybe in this week or the weeks that follow. And I think that you're going to start to feel like you can kind of catch your breath here in this week ahead. I really do. Along with that, you have the Judgment card. The Judgment card is a card of major realizations. And with the Tower, it's a very, there's a strong synergy between the cards because, if there was ever like a spiritual revelation or a realization that you have, it may come, around some sort of like unexpected situation, right? So like some unexpected situation may happen here with the Tower, and that creates or sparks some sort of important revelation or realization in your life. I like the idea of this Judgment card as well, in that it's like this phoenix rising from the ashes. Okay, here as you can see in the card. And I do think that right now some of you are sort of like in the trenches, so to speak. Okay, you're sort of in the trenches. It's like you're ready to kind of release yourself from all of the heavy load that you're carrying. I see like your calendar's full. Every day there's something. It's like maybe there are only a few days of rest recently, and I think that you're learning something through this. Also notice this is Pluto energy. I just felt like saying that here with the Judgment card. Pluto is it's a planet of deep transformation, and when you have this type of reading, it's sort of like, you're in the trenches, you're in the thick of it right now. And you are learning something, okay, through all of this, which is another message with the Ten of Wands, which each wand represents some wisdom or experience earned or gained along the way. So you then here have the Four of Wands, which is nice. It's an energy of stability. So I do think that maybe some of you, it's kind of the opposite. Two of Pentacles, it's sort of like things can kind of be up and down, right? It's sort of this idea of like lack of stability, right? Changing, like a constantly changing situation. Fours in the tarot usually bring about stability, right? And the Four of Wands, this is maybe even a message of like, some of you may be involved in some like ceremonies, right? So that would be like weddings, or some other formal ceremonies. It can also just indicate celebration and stability, having some sort of like stable ground to kind of that you can create for yourself. It's a really solid card. So in the middle here, you have the Knight of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, and the Devil. All right, so the wild card here is the Devil, right? So the Devil and the Tower is an interesting synchronicity as well, the synergy between the cards. They come one after the other, right? And some of the time when I look at the Devil and the Tower, when it comes in a reading, because it does sometimes come in, is the Devil is like that thing that you shouldn't be doing, but you're doing. Okay, it doesn't have to be like, super bad, but there's maybe just something that you're doing that is not supporting you, or it's something that you're doing that like you just need to work through, right? And that's 15, right? And then we move to 16, the Tower. The Tower collapses that, right? And it's like if you keep doing something or you put something off for too long, the Devil, right? That's the idea of the Devil. The universe is going to end it for you, and it would be much better if you ended it yourself, right? Hopefully that makes sense. So like, there are times where, in life, this is kind of like a more real life example here, is like when we kick the can down the road, like eventually we're going to have to approach the problem, right? Like eventually that's going to catch up to us if we keep kicking the can down the road, right? So some of you here are maybe like in this situation right now here, and what I would also say is like another combination here that some of you may resonate with more is that the Ten of Wands and the Devil is like just an addiction to work, or like this idea of like no work-life balance, right? Like just you actually have a 3-card combination here of so much work, okay? Because the Knight of Pentacles is also an indicator of hard work in the tarot. With the Devil, and the Ten of Wands, it's sort of like, are you working so much that it's no longer efficient? Are you working so much that it's no longer productive? That it's not actually beneficial for you in your situation? Okay, so this is maybe something that you are looking at in this week. Like maybe some of you are looking to take a different approach to your mountain of work, or some sort of like thing that you have going on in your life. I'm talking about work, and I'm using that term loosely in that it could be, many things, right? It doesn't have to be about your career. It could be like something you're doing around the house, or like some legal situation that you have to work through, or some family situation that you have to work through. This idea, you have something on your plate here that is very, very, very heavy in terms of how much time it is draining, like how much time is being drained from you, right? Like it's really all encompassing for you at this time, right? Now, the nice thing about the Knight of Pentacles is it does say that you will see results, right? You will see results here in the future. So let's move to the final column. You have the Nine of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the World. So we kind of see like more confirmation here. Nine of Swords, it's like this person's staying up late at night, right? They have their head in their hands. They're fearful about the future, right? They're even maybe having a nightmare, and it's just a confirmation that this all-encompassing situation is sort of like being heightened or highlighted here for you in this week. We'll see what the clarifications have to sort of like give you some like advice on maybe, or even predictions on where this is going. But as of now, you then have the Six of Cups, which it can refer to the past. I have a feeling that some of you put something off for a while here with that Six of Cups, or there could just be an opportunity from your past that's coming back in this week that some of you are looking at. But it can refer to your past. And then what's nice here is you do have the World, which is a major completion in the tarot, and it also is major signs of success as well, and certainty. Okay, so the Two of Pentacles, we kind of started off this reading here. The Two of Pentacles is an uncertain card, right? Because the person's kind of juggling the pentacles between hands. They're not sure what's going to happen. Are they going to be able to pay for things? The World is the opposite. It's certainty, right? You have some solidity here too with the Four of Wands and the World, right? So things are going to improve for you. Right now, you're in the trenches. Okay, this is kind of like what's going on. This is kind of like what I'm seeing for you. You have the Judgment card, which is 20 into the World, 21. The Judgment card is like the idea here is that you have some sort of like, you kind of see the choices that you've made up to this point with the Judgment card, right? You have some sort of realization around the choices that you've made, and you can learn from where you are, and then you get to the World here, which shows you that you've completed something. You've gone through the hero's journey. You've gone through the full cycle. That's the idea of the Judgment in the World. So I would say, based on these first 9 cards, yes, the message here is to continue doing what you're doing. There is going to be a way out of this heavy burden that you're carrying, okay? So why don't we go ahead and let's take a look at the Oracle cards. I am going to be using the Psychic Tarot Oracle. It's one of my favorite decks because it blends Tarot and Oracle. So we're going to move into the clarifications portion now. Let me go ahead and pull some of these cards. Okay. All right. Energy on the bottom, you do have Destiny. Okay, that would be the Wheel of Fortune equivalent. Sometimes, luck is something we can't control. It's just a random variable in life. But we can, as I always say, as I like to say, we can put ourselves in positions to get lucky. And the Devil there, it's sort of like, make sure you're not putting something off, okay? Because the idea of like the Destiny card is being in the right place at the right time. It's hard to be in the right place at the right time when we're kind of not like taking care of our things, right? When we're kind of not showing up for ourselves, when we're kicking the can down the road. You have power and patience. Okay, I like this for you. Let's see what else we have. You have fertility, triumph, and recognition and reward. I do see that there is success here for you coming here in the future. You do have a lot of like what would be the major arcanas in Strength, Temperance, Empress, and the Chariot here. And then the final card is the Universe, another major arcana. That is the World. Okay, I love this card, this Universe card. So we're getting like multiple confirmations here that you are going to complete this task or whatever this heavy burden is. And this is a really strong reading for you here, Libra, in that you're getting a lot of major arcanas, and they're like really significant ones. Each card has a place, right, in the tarot, but you're getting like the World, you're getting, this idea of the Wheel of Fortune, the World twice, Judgment, Tower, Devil. These are big energies, okay? And I do think that there is a message here of patience and power, right? Can you give yourself the time and space to complete this, but also make sure, you're taking care of yourself at the same time? Let's go ahead and let's clarify the original 9 cards here, all right? So we'll pull some of these clarifying cards here to clarify these cards. All right, Libra, as always, I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I do hope things are going well for you. All right. Okay, wow. You have the 10 of Pentacles, amazing. You have the Queen of Pentacles, and you have the Emperor. Okay, so 10 of Pentacles here. So this fertility card is the Empress. The Empress is a sign of fertility in the tarot, but it can mean this idea of being able to create life or plant a seed, right, in your situation. And maybe for you, that seed can blossom into this 10 of Pentacles, which is really the highest vibration of the suit of Pentacles. You have that with the 2 of Pentacles. Actually, I've always liked the combination of the 2 and the 10 of Pentacles together, because the 2 can indicate up or down, depending on the supporting cards, right? And you have this here with the 10. So that would be an indication of things increasing or money going up, so to speak, okay? So I like this for you, or at the very least, your abundance and, your fertility here in your situation increasing in some way, okay? I think that this idea of like, that song, like Through the Fire, right? Like you're in the trenches, right? You're going through the fire right now. And, this is probably a time here where you're feeling like you're going through a test, right? The universe is testing you. I also have often said that the Judgment card is like a test from the universe to see if you can kind of pass or fail. Pass, you complete the journey, right? The idea is like the universe is trying to test you right now. You have this Queen of Pentacles. I think that some of you have a really kind of like level head right now. Like you're taking a level-headed approach to your situation, okay, which is classic Queen of Pentacles. And then you also have the Emperor here, which is another 4, okay? And the Emperor is all about authority and stability and success in the tarot. The Emperor is a card that indicates success in career. You have this here wow, I just pulled the Empress. Wow, I was talking about this Empress fertility card, but now you've also pulled it. You've pulled the Empress tarot card. Let me talk about that. That's pretty amazing. You have the Empress, the 8 of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. Wow. So the Empress and the Emperor, this is the mother-father of the tarot. This is a counterpart, okay, in the tarot. So it's actually a good sign for relationship energy, okay, especially as it's with the 4 of Wands. There may be some marriage timeline here. I know this is not a love reading. This is very strong, like work, career, or just generally like you have some sort of burden in your life. So maybe that burden is relationship, but it feels like it's decent, okay? It feels like something's going good is happening there. There's maybe even a question of dedication in the relationship as you have the 8 of Pentacles. I think that ultimately, I think that this is going to end up working out for you. The King of Wands is maybe, how do I say? The King of Wands may be considered to be like the player of the tarot. Okay, this is somebody, the playboy, so to speak, of the tarot. This is somebody who is adventurous. Okay, so there may be like some sort of like question that's going on there in a relationship. It doesn't seem entirely challenging. Okay. But I will say that the King of Wands with the Devil, this is maybe somebody that likes to get around, so to speak, okay? Just got to throw that out there for the people watching. And if you're here for love, I will say, but there's sort of like a redemption arc in this reading. There's a true redemption arc here. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what's happening there. Okay, in terms of the love messages. Okay, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's happening there. But some of you may resonate with this. But if your relationship's solid, then that's just not the message for you. There's something else that's happening here. The Eight of Pentacles, going back to the main timeline that I've been talking about here, I love this. The fact that you've pulled the Eight of Pentacles, because this person is so dedicated. They're working deep into the night, right? You can see they're working late at night, deep into the night to complete something. Okay, and this can represent your skills, your abilities, your talents. It's one of the most skilled cards in the tarot. And it can bring about a promotion. I think that there's some sort of like increase that's potentially on the table for you here. But as of right now, it's sort of like you're not exactly seeing it like in the moment, right? You're kind of just grinding right now. You then here have the King of Wands, which, another interpretation outside of what I said for the love messages is the King of Wands is the classic entrepreneur, right? This is somebody who marches to the beat of their own drum, so to speak. This is somebody who is highly independent, but also like very capable in career, right? This is also a skill card. What else do we have here? We have the Three of Cups. We have the Four of Swords and the Ten of Wands again coming in right at the end of the reading. So we started the reading off with the Ten of Wands, and now we have the Ten of Wands again. Okay, so this is like there are multiple confirmations here of a completion, right? We've got double worlds with the universe and the world. We then have double Ten of Wands as well, right? So something is coming to a close. You're completing the task, right? Like whatever trial the universe is putting you on at this time, you will successfully win. Okay, you will successfully win. When that will happen is to be determined, but the goal here is to continue going forward with your situation, because yeah. And then I think like maybe a solid piece of advice here is there is like a message of not getting enough sleep or not getting enough rest, which it just may mean that right now you're in the thick of it. Like it's there may not be as much time for rest for whatever reason, but if you can carve out some time for that, it could be very helpful for you, okay? Based on this reading here with that Four of Swords. Three of Cups, some of you may just question, like, are there other people involved in the relationship section? But it may also just mean that some of you want to sort of let loose yourself a little bit as well with the Three of Cups and do something enjoyable, like meet up with your friends or, a family member that you haven't seen for a while, or like there also is something that you have to celebrate here, which is very good. Okay, you definitely have something to celebrate. On the bottom, we have another counterpart here, King and Queen of Wands. So that's generally good when you get counterparts in the tarot. We've got the Empress and the Emperor, and then the King and the Queen of Wands. But you are very busy. I was expecting to see this card, and it came here right at the end. The Queen of Wands is an indicator of busyness. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's see what is showing up in the Kipper energies for you. I like this reading for you here, Libra. I'm a Libra myself. Okay, you have the unexpected income, concern, marriage. Okay, there it is. There's that marriage timeline I think I was talking about. You have family room, official person, and courtship. Yeah, I mean, some of you here, there is some sort of like question of dedication or question of what's next in relationships, I would say. There's also like, if you're here for relationships, but the unexpected income more so, this is, I think, more people are going to resonate with this. Unexpected income, Tower, 10 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Pentacles. That's a potential increase here for some people. And you may have not seen it coming, okay? I think also some of you are really like homebodies right now. Like whatever it is that you're doing, you're working from home here with the family room, or there's like you're doing a lot within the home at this time. Someone is very interested in you here with the courtship and the marriage card, but some of you have some questions about what is next in that situation, especially with the Lovers here on the bottom. So Libra, I'm going to leave you right there. Make the most of this direct Mercury energy. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.